You're listening to the Ballroom Network. The following program is intended for all audiences. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Goon Podcast with your hosts, Joe Mandel, the Goon, John Santucci, the Tooch, and the man with the plan, Adam Shawm. We're bringing you the fantasy football knowledge that you need every single week.
Derrick Henry still going. He might go. 99 yards for the touchdown. Unbelievable.
Flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner. Fires downfield. Caught. Touchdown. Only Mahomes turns what might have been a 15-yard sack into a 27-yard touchdown.
Saquon Barkley across midfield, down the sideline, staying in bounds, and Barkley takes it all the way. 68 yards for his first NFL touchdown. McCaffrey right up the middle, and he is gone for the touchdown. 58 yards. Pass is to Thomas. He's gone. Touchdown Saints.
Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job, the cut. Now, while I wasn't able to cut everyone I wanted to, I have cut a lot of you. Steven, I like your hustle. That's why it was so hard to cut you. Congratulations, the rest of you made the team. Except you, and you.
God bless fantasy football. There are many things a man can do with his time. And this, better than those things.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the season opener of Fantasy Football Goon. NFL football is back in the next hour and a half. I'm Joe Mandel, one of your hosts, the Goon, and I'm joined, as always, by my fantasy football brothers. I'm talking about John Santucci, the Tooch, and Adam Shawm, the man with the plan. Gentlemen, big news breaking this morning out of fantasy football in the sports world. On his way to the home opener, Tyreek Hill detained by police for some sort of speeding citation, arrested, handcuffed, very public. Videos are all over X and social media. But his manager, his agent says he will play today. So, Tooch and Adam, should owners be concerned about this in any way, shape, or form? Adam, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I wouldn't be concerned in the short term, at least. You know, I mean, he's in my lineup today. Like they said, he's playing. So, you know, it just seems like kind of Tyreek shenanigans, if you ask me. Just kind of remains to be seen what he gets charged with down the road to look ahead to it. But for right now, I wouldn't be concerned. I'd just be having him in my lineup and probably expect a Scotty Scheffler-esque performance today.
Yep, I hope so,
you
too.
Remember when he got arrested right before the opener or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. Tooch, do you foresee any suspension possibly coming down on Tyreek during the season because of this?
I mean, probably not. I mean, suspensions. There's ways to put these off until next season and whatnot. But he'll either throw him off his game or fire him up. Maybe he was just excited to get to, like we all are, to get to football. For football Sunday. I
tell you what, I was speeding from my kitchen making breakfast for the family up to my computer. I was like, here we go. Let's go. It's football time. Other big story actually just broke right before we went live here. Dak Prescott getting paid, folks. He is now he got a 4-year, $240 million contract. He is now the highest paid player in NFL history.
Wow. I mean, he's got a tough matchup today. I'll tell you, Jerry Jones might be like, what did we spend this money on after he faces the Browns defense? But, it'll probably be another good year for Dak overall.
Yeah, and Ant Mass has Dak getting overpaid, and I kind of agree, but I thought for sure Dak was hitting free agency after this year. I really thought so.
What else are they going to do, though, at quarterback? They had no choice.
Right. It's like, well, I don't understand. Why does Jerry Jones have to play these games with every player? It's like, you're going to pay that guy. Why
No choice. He had no choice. Yeah.
Yeah, you knew you were going to pay CD, and you knew what it was going to cost. Why did it take so long? You knew the same situation with Dak. Why do we have to wait till kickoff to make it happen? Like, you could have these guys happy a month ago and together for a month of happiness. And don't get me wrong, they're going to be great, and it's all wheels up from here on out for the Cowboys. But still, it's like, why do we have to have the runaround with Jerry every time?
That's it, boys. And then there's one other big story in fantasy, and that's Jamar Chase, guys.
No contract yet, right?
Officially, no contract reached before game day today. Adam
Playing
Schefter.
or no?
That is the big question, right? He's warming up for this game, but Adam Schefter just tweeted out that the Bengals and wide receiver Jamar Chase are not expected to reach a contract. They have not before kickoff. And it remains unclear if he will play in today's game. Adam Schefter cites that actives and inactives will be in 30 minutes. That was a little while ago. We should be officially getting word here during the show if Chase is active. And it looks like, wow, there it is. He is active. So Turtles just shared with us, and I just saw it on my line come across. Jamar Chase is active for today's game. So, guys, get him in your lineups.
I mean, look, if Chase didn't play today and held out for a contract, he was holding in, right, not holding out. He was a hold in. If he didn't play, I mean T. Higgins is doubtful. I don't think he's playing today.
He's out.
So he's out. So T.
Higgins officially out.
Joe Burrow's thrown to
Higgins
Jermaine Burton and Andre Yosevas without either of those two guys. So I mean Chase might be like, I'll suit up and play, with T out. So
you know who's going to get a lot. Who's going to benefit from this today, Tooch. We talked about him as a sleeper last week. Mike Gesicki.
Mike Gesicki, yeah, definitely, yep, yeah, good call, Joe. Yeah, I mean, I knew it. I just couldn't bring it up to the memory banks. Bring it up.
No, it's all good. Yeah. I knew you'd get there.
Right, though. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a good. If you're thinking that you don't have a tight end, man, it's not a bad start today with Chase. Kind of, I mean, him and who's some of the other guys are Brandon Ayuk, guys like that who are not in game shape and trying to get into the flow of the game. And Ayuk has got a hard matchup this week against the Jets secondary. So. I mean, you're looking at guys like Chase and Ayuk not being up to full speed. So Mike Gesicki's a good sleeper. I didn't put him in my sleepers, but that's a good one, Joe.
Yep, I know we talked about him being a sleeper for the season. So
yep.
I just had to take T. Higgins out of my wide receiver starts because I had him listed as a start. I was thinking he was going to give it a go, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought it would be a good start if Chase were out. T. Higgins would have gotten some volume.
And we're getting some questions, guys, so let's take a couple of them here.
Yep.
Adam, I'll let you take this one. Jackson Smith Enigma or Brian Thomas? That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I like both those guys.
Sure.
Yep. I'd probably take JSN on this one in week one. I'm not taking a whole lot of risks on week one. You're going to play your studs and your starters and most of those guys and kind of see how it plays out. Because you just never know the usage. In week one, there's always huge overreactions as well. Somebody's going to score 2 or 3 touchdowns and then not score again the rest of the year. Or somebody's going to have a horrible game like we saw on Thursday night with Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, and they're going to rebound, it. So you can't overreact. But I would go with JSN just because Brian Thomas is the rookie. It's going to be his first game, and I kind of want to see it happen before I put him in my lineup.
150%. Sorry,
I love JSN this year, man. I think he's going to overtake Tyler Lockett, become the number 2 there. But today against the Broncos, I mean, DK Metcalf's going to be matched up against Surtain. So I mean, pretty much JSN should have a good day. But Brian, look, the Jaguars and Dolphins are the highest total on the board. So this to me says points. I think each of these teams get to 20 points easy. I think Trevor Lawrence has a good day. I think
Christian Kirk,
Evan Ingram, they're all good starts in this game. You want to get your Jaguars and Dolphins into the game. I don't know. I mean, look, Xavier Worthy had 2 touchdowns, and he's a rookie. Brian Thomas, he could easily have 2 touchdowns in this game, man.
I think both of these guys are going to be awesome. It's a
So
good problem to have.
JSN played with a finger injury for most of the year last year. You know, that was
He
really
injured to
bothering
start
him.
the year last year.
Really bothered him throughout the whole season. And when he was like got healthy towards the end of the season, he really started to break out. So, yeah, I mean, it's like you see why Adam and I like him this year because you know, he's fully healthy. I know they're running a new offensive system because the coordinator's on the Bears now. So, but I don't know, man. JSN's your safe play if you're looking for the home run. I guess you take Brian Thomas.
Yeah, I like them both. I think both guys are going to do well today.
Yep.
Fachizi pointing out that Justin Fields starting for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's one guy we are not starting today, folks. So I would avoid him. But
I don't know, man. He's either it's boom or bust. You know, you feel lucky today with Fields. I actually like the Steelers to win this game. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
The
The line tells you everything. The line tells you everything.
Steelers too.
You know, give me the Steelers plus 3.5.
They're playing the Falcons, right?
Yeah.
I think the Falcons are going to smoke them. I hope.
TJ Watt is a beast, man.
I'm not discounting the defense at all. That's the thing that's going to keep them in this game.
Yep.
But
TJ Watt gets to Cousins early, man. We know how that goes. He goes downhill fast. He's kind of like Jared Goff. You rattle him early.
It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game, I think. Atlanta, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looked like crap during the preseason.
Yes, they did.
This is a Mike Tomlin special where they look like crap. He comes out and he smokes the Falcons.
I mean,
I think it'll be a close game. I would take the points if I were betting with Pittsburgh.
I took the money line on Atlanta, but in a parlay. So
that's all right. I mean, look, you got the better quarterback with the Falcons. He's learning though. He didn't play much in the preseason, Kirk Cousins. He's still coming off that injury. It wasn't an Achilles injury. What did tear his Achilles?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's you know, you're looking at how good of stability in his legs and rotation he can get. But he's a damn good quarterback. He's got some weapons. Kyle Pitts is going to play. He ended up a little bit banged up this week too.
Yeah.
But you know, all those parts. You know, these guys haven't really played any games together. Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts,
for sure.
Cousins,
and guys, we got another question here from Pedro. Adam, I'll let you take the first crack at it. But which 2 wide receivers would you start? Coleman, JSN, Leggett, Isovas, Idunze, or Judy?
This is tough, man. I'm definitely taking JSN.
Yeah, I'm probably JSN and Idunze probably.
Yeah, for me, give me Keon Coleman and JSN.
Yeah, I was going to say
Coleman and Idunze is kind of toss up for me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Those 2 guys for me are like where I'm trying to decide. It's definitely JSN.
Josephus is a sleeper with T. Higgins out though. I kind of, you know, I don't know. I don't know who's going to be that number 2 or number 3 wide receiver on the Bengals yet. Jermaine Burton's a stud too, man.
I think I'd agree with Tooch and JSN and Coleman actually.
It's close, but I agree with you guys, JSN and Coleman. Tooch, I think that number 2 wide receiver, that people are trying to figure out who it's going to be today.
Yeah,
I think it's Chase Brown.
Yeah, you never know, man. That dude's a stud, man. I love Chase Brown. I think he's going to end up taking that full-time running back position.
The Bengals are really good. I think they're going to destroy New England today.
Yeah. See, I think, I mean, obviously, I think they're going to win the game. In fact, they're the number 1 pick in the Circa Survivor is the Bengals this week. So everyone likes the Bengals to win the game. And the Patriots, I don't like their prospects. I think they could end up being one of the worst teams in the league, like the Giants.
Brissett starting, by the way.
Jacoby Brissett. They went with the veteran. I think Drake May gives them they might as well just throw the kid into the fire, if you ask me. But you know, he'll sit and learn behind Brissett. But yeah, the Bengals should win this game. Will they cover 8.5 points? I don't know.
That's why I took money line. I didn't like the 8.5.
I might take the Patriots plus 8.5 in this one. Just it's week 1. You know?
Pedro says thanks for the advice. No problem, Pedro. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah,
but
you can't discount that Justin Fields running the ball against Atlanta, though, man. You know, I was watching one of the pregame shows this morning, And they showed a lot of highlights of Justin running the ball, and I forgot how freaking amazing it was when he was with the Bears running the ball. You know, like how many touchdowns he had of 50 yards or more last year? I think he had 3 or 4 last year. You know, if he breaks
that was crazy.
Yeah, if he breaks contain, you know, he could get a couple easy scores on the Falcons. But he could also, you know, turn the ball over a bunch of times too. You know, you don't know what you're getting with Fields.
100%.
Yep, Steven Zimmerman.
Yes,
our buddy.
Our buddy Zim.
My kid. He's like a son to me too. He's like my third son.
He's handsome. I'll give him that. Start 2 here. Freermuth, Laporta, Kincaid. All right, for those of you, this is a bit of an inside joke, but Zim took 1 million tight ends in the
his
bargain
first 3
draft.
picks were like tight ends, whatever.
He's got 3 amazing tight ends, but I believe one of his positions is weak. I want to say running back. I don't remember. But, well, this is pretty simple for me. You're definitely taking Laporta, and then it's a bit of a toss-up between Kincaid and Pitts, but I think it's Laporta and Kincaid. Adam, are you agreement with that?
Yep.
Yeah, easy Laporta and Kincaid.
Yep.
I do like Freiermuth better with Fields playing, though.
Good point. Yeah, Kyle Pitts. I mean, I like Kyle Pitts. I mean, he's still the unicorn tight end, you know, but we got to see it. And Cousins likes to use the tight end. I think after, you know, if Cousins just dials up Pitt's number all game long, you're going to see you know, the finally, you know, tweets and stuff. You know,
Laporta and Kincaid easy.
Yep, Laporta, Kincaid. Yep.
Start Chase or pivot to Neighbors. You definitely got to roll with Chase because he is active, folks.
Yep, he's active.
Yeah, he's active, and Higgins is out.
I love Neighbors today, though, too, man. I think Neighbors gets you 6-7 catches right there today.
Yeah,
I agree. But Jamar Chase definitely starting. Definitely going to be a dog today. So sign me up.
If you could trade for Neighbors before this game, I would trade for him. But I mean, look, after this game, people are going to be like Malik Neighbors. They'll know, you know, his name and stuff. This dude's he's the best. He was the best route runner coming out of the draft. He's got shite for quarterbacks and a terrible offensive line, but the dude knows how.
They're going to get him the ball. They're going to get him the ball.
He's the alpha there. You know, you're talking. This is a 10 target a game guy.
Yeah.
You know,
I got him over 30 yards today in a parlay, and that seems like a cakewalk.
Dude, that's 100% guaranteed. I like him for 60 yards.
I do too.
6 catches, over 5.5 catches.
I fully agree with that. Eric's got another question here, guys. Half-point PPR, flex 1, Ridley, Addison, Adunze.
Addison for me.
There's no, I'm pretty sure that DeAndre Hopkins is going to be out today.
Yep.
So I think Ridley's going to be the number 1. And just for volume, I'll probably go with Ridley.
I like Ridley too, but if Jalen Johnson going to be on him, man.
I would take Ridley out of this. Yeah. It is a tough matchup for him, but he should be the number 1. I think he's going to be a huge target monster this season.
Yep. I don't like his matchup today though, because JJ is
it's tough.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to throw it.
You gotta put JJ. If you're the Bears, you put JJ on Calvin Ridley all game long. You know, make the other guys beat you. You know, if Tyler Boyd lines up in the slot, he's got Kyler Gordon.
So I just looked. Hopkins is playing. He's been rumored to be out all week.
He's got a torn MCL though.
He's banged up. I don't think you're going to see much out of Hopkins today. I really don't.
Either. You're not going to see much out of him the whole season. You know, he opted not to have surgery. You know, he's playing with the same injury that Jordan Love's got a sprain. Hopkins has a tear. Yeah. But for a wide receiver, you know, when your knee's unstable, that's the worst thing for a wide receiver. Yeah, he was on my do not draft list. I love him as a player, but I don't like him with the torn MCL.
Not to mention that he could easily get re-injured. But
yeah,
and the questions are pouring in, guys.
They're going to shoot his knee full of painkillers.
Yeah,
you know, and he's going to try and give it a go, but he's not going to cut like he used to.
Adam, pick 1 PPR: McConkey, Ford, Chase Brown.
This is tough.
I'll take Chase Brown on that one.
Yeah, especially with T. Higgins out.
Yeah, look, running back scored pretty good against the Cowboys last season, so I'm going to roll with Jerome Ford on this one. He's going to get a lot of volume, but McConkey, I think he could easily get you 6 catches today. But he's I got to see it first. So I think it's a big day for Justin Herbert today, man. I think Palmer and McConkey are going to eat today.
Yeah, these are all good choices.
Yeah, they're all good choices. But
Yeah.
for me, it's either McConkey or Ford. I love Chase Brown too, but I don't know. They might go. Zach Morris is the one who got paid,
Right.
I think Chase
Zach
Brown
Morris
is the better player. Chase Brown's the better player for me, but Zach Morris, I think he's gonna default with the bigger contract until Brown outplays him.
I mean, Zach Moss.
You said Zach
Moss.
Morris.
What did I say?
Zach Morris.
Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell.
Zach Morris. Zach Moss. Yeah. That's a Midwestern accent, though, Adam.
Yeah.
Marsh.
This is an sort of unrelated question, but who would you guys go with today? I'm in a league where I have to decide between, if I could pull it up, Rodgers or Herbert, and I've had a hard time.
So Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Or Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
Justin Herbert has a way better matchup.
I know he does. I understand that, but let me tell you why I'm toying with it, because I keep hearing about how the Chargers are going to be a run-first offense and how Herbert has limited mobility right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to. I know it's a better matchup than Rodgers. I'm just, I'm having a hard time because I could see Rodgers coming out and balling. I also have in that same league, I have Wilson, so I get the stack.
I'm playing Rodgers out of those two.
I don't know. I mean, run first teams are run first until they got to throw. It's like you get 3rd and long, you're not running the ball.
Technically, both guys are on a new team basically because Rodgers will play 4 plays, but I'm going to take 100%. Rodgers, veteran abilities with proven receivers over Herbert with a bunch of rookies.
Yeah, that's why I'm in a wait and see mode, and that's why I have Rodgers active right now.
Yeah. I mean, you could let me punch up something here.
And real quick, while we wait for Tooch, Mad Z asked James Conner and McLaurin PPR. This is really tough because I love both guys today.
PPR, I'd take McLaurin.
I lean McLaurin here, but I think both guys are going to be top 10 of their position today.
Yeah, it's tough to bench either one of them right now. But McLaurin is a little hesitation because rookie quarterback in his first game, but he's their guy though. So
they're both about the same defensively last season. Raiders and 49ers against the pass. So maybe go with the guy that's
why I have Rodgers right now.
Less injured. Yeah. And you got your stack, so yeah.
That's what I'm doing. But Tooch, we both took McLaurin. Do you feel the same? It's really close. They're both going to be awesome today.
It's PPR, huh?
Yeah.
That's a tough call, man. Because, I mean, a James Conner touchdown is worth 6 Terry McLaurin catches, So I'm going to default on Conner. I think he gets 4 catches too.
I like them both.
I do too. I love Conner, though. I mean, he's I think that game might be pretty high scoring. The Bills and Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals have a shot to win that game.
Yeah, I picked World Series of Handicapping. I got Cardinals plus 6.5 in this game, but I don't know what Buffalo's going to be this year.
I don't either.
I don't know how good their defense is. I know that Josh Allen's going to be a Superman. He's probably will finish as the number 1 quarterback fantasy overall.
I'm considering putting $5 on money line on the Cardinals today. I'm really thinking about it.
Man, they're road spoilers last season. Towards the end of this, when Kyler Murray came back.
Yeah.
They
should be quite a bit better this year.
Yeah, they got better this year too. Marvin Harrison Jr. and
I was considering getting Trey McBride at 2 touchdowns for plus 1,400.
Yeah.
They had plus 1,300 for 2 James Conner touchdowns, and I was thinking about taking that.
Yep.
But let's see. Got another question here. Well, sports spotlights. Sad Higgins is out. Yeah, I'm sad.
Yeah, me too. I got him on a team too. I got to rest him. Go with someone else. But
all right, guys. Start 1 in the flex. Ridley, Godwin, Kamara, JSN, JMO, Chase Brown.
JMO's what? Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams. Yeah. For me, it's Kamara easily.
Yeah. Yeah, he's must start right now. He should see tons of targets.
Is this PPR? half PPR standard?
It's PPR.
PPR. Okay. PPR.
Another reason I'm taking Kamara.
Flash it up there again. I'm going to stay away from Ridley because I don't like his matchup against Jalen Johnson. For me, it's either Godwin or Kamara. I'll go Kamara. I think Kamara's he's got nobody else around him. He's gonna get all the running back touches, catch the ball out of the backfield. But Godwin I do like today. I like Godwin this whole season.
Impossible wants to know. Drop one for a kicker. Curtis Samuel, Eckler, Herbert, Chuba, Flowers, JSN, Jaden Daniels.
Let's see. For a kicker,
he needs a tight end. Taysom Hill.
Don't drop Chuba Hubbard because he's
going
to get a lot of plays.
Samuels or Herbert.
Out of those guys, I'm probably going to go with Herbert.
Dropping Herbert?
Yeah.
Herbert or Samuel, but I think Samuel might have a big role on Buffalo.
Don't drop Zay Flowers. He's awesome. Or JSN.
No, I think it's Herbert.
Keep Jaden Daniels. He could be a stud. So, yeah, I'd drop Eckler.
It's close.
For me,
you're probably
Eckler.
right.
I like Khalil Herbert. If DeAndre Swift's injured, Khalil Herbert becomes a running back.
That's true. Eckler's got too many mouths to feed there. I'd go Eckler. You're right. I think I would.
Yeah.
And then tight end. Freiermuth is going to get heavily targeted. So
I love me some Hunter Henry though. It's just a great target in the end zone, man. He got a ton of red zone looks. He was like top 5 red zone looks for
overall season. It's Freiermuth. He just got paid.
Drop Herbert and play Taysom Hill.
So he's going to pick up a tight end.
Yes. And he's got to drop one for a kicker, and then he's trying to ask which tight end to pick up. So
I like Hunter Henry. I think he's a good route runner. He gets a lot of red zone looks, but Freiermuth is going to probably get more targets season long.
Long-term season, it's Freiermuth. I think if you're going off of today, I think Taysom Hill is going to see a lot of action today. So
the Bengals. The Bengals are terrible against the tight end. The two worst teams against the tight end were the Bengals and the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. So for me, if you're just looking for a tight end for today, I'm taking Hunter Henry.
Eric wants to know half-point PPR. Oh, wait, we answered this one already. We went with Ridley out of those options. Zim tells us that Coleman's going to pick up where Diggs left off. Well, if that's the case, then Coleman's going to do nothing because Diggs ended the season poorly. But I think he means.
The Bills even said in camp that he was struggling. He's not quite ready. I think he is going to be a great player, but I don't think it's going to be week 1. But,
I like him. I don't like him today. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to be productive today, but I don't expect him to
big
blow
target.
up
That's why
on Diggs right away. But the Bills said in training camp he needed some time to develop and become the player he needed. They've come out and said that easily.
He's a big target though. That's why I think he's got a chance to catch a few balls today. But he's got, like Adam said, he's got to get into the flow.
Mm-hmm. Sports Spotlight wants to know, guys. Scott and Roshan Johnson inactive today. Yeah. McConkey or Ridley in PPR.
McConkey.
Better matchup, way better matchup for McConkey. I think he's going to see a lot of targets. I like both him.
The Bears secondary is no joke, man. They're good. So's the Titans secondary too.
McConkey and Joshua Palmer, I think both are worth a start today.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. Yeah.
I have Palmer over 6.5 catches today. And it's the same line on DraftKings for McConkey, ironically. It's 6.5.
I started Romeo Dobbs and Guillotine, but now I kind of wish I started Tyler Boyd, because I didn't know Nook would be out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
It is what it is.
Whatever.
Richard, start 2. Rashad White, Jones, Singletary, Ford.
White and Ford for me.
Yep.
I like Aaron Jones today, though.
Yeah, White and Ford are going to see a lot of volume today, and that's what it's all about.
I do like Aaron Jones. Singletary's, they're all good. They're all good matchups. Singletary's going to get every carry and every throw. He's going to be in there most of the time. It's the thing. It's just how good the Giants' offense is going to be.
Yeah, it's just always going to be a bad situation for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's done it before when it was that way.
Player. Yeah, he's a good ball player. Yeah. Ford was a beast last year, Joe. right?
Oh, I know.
I think
I
you
had him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him.
You had him. I was like, damn, I'm so jealous because he was like 20, 30 points a game for like, I don't know, 4-game stretch.
I have him in guillotine today, and I'm very excited that I
Yeah.
have him.
Yep.
Looking forward to that guillotine league too. It's going to be fun.
I'm a little worried. Like I'm not feeling great. Dak's contract gives me a little boost today, but my backup is Jacoby Brissett. It's like after when I was trying to get a backup quarter, I should have waited on quarterback. Because you could get like Jared Goff, who I love his matchup today.
Although I feel really good in guillotine for the first week ever because I've got Burrow, James Conner, Jerome Ford, Christian Kirk, and Garrett Wilson. I feel really good.
Yeah, I feel pretty good too. But Anthony had Saquon Barkley as his first pick.
That worked out for him.
That worked 3 touchdowns. It's like, come on.
I only have one quarterback, and it's Deshaun Watson. So good luck to me today.
Hang in there, buddy.
Look, Deshaun Watson could be a top 10
He could be
fantasy quarterback if he puts it together this year.
I'm taking my chances at quarterback.
How much does he want to? He's got the contract. How much does he want to play? It's like the guy. He's got to get his head into the love of the game.
Absolutely. And guys, Ryan wants to know chasing points after Thursday and Friday games. Pick one. Taysom Hill, Brian Thomas Jr., Dunze, Dowdle, Connor.
James
all right.
For me.
Out of those guys, it's standard. If it was PPR, you might make a case for McLaurin, but I'm taking Connor. I think he's going to score at least twice today.
One. You're guaranteed one on the ground. I think for Connor, maybe one in the air.
Connor,
Adam?
James Conner.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason that I put James Conner in the graphic for the show today. Just saying. We'll talk about the other guy in the graphic in a bit too. Actually, let's talk about him now. Let's get the comments down. Let's go to our starts, our quarterback starts for the week, folks.
Yeah. And
I realized I told us all to take 5 of every category today. I think next week I'll say 3, but we're going to go with our 5 picks today because why not? We'll lead off with mine. Love Jared Goff today against the Rams.
Top start.
I mean, they're just going to chuck it easily over 300 yards. I think it's a book it all-star play. Kyler Murray, I mean, when he's healthy and the rest of the folks around him are healthy, that team is very, very good offensively. I'm not going to talk about their defense because I don't like to, but Kyler Murray is going to get it done with his legs and his arm today. Sign me up. I think Kyler Murray finishes at the end of the season as a top 5 quarterback. Listen, I'm a Bear fan. I don't care if I wasn't a Bear fan. I still think Caleb Williams is going to have a great day today against Tennessee. I expect at least 2 touchdown passes. He's going to get some scrambles. He's going to do some magic. I think you're going to see some more Mahomes-like plays today. I really do. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes. Could he be eventually? Maybe. But I love him today. Give me some Caleb Williams. Also, love Anthony Richardson today against Houston. Listen, I don't think Indy's going to win that game, but I do think Anthony Richardson's going to get it done. When he was healthy last year, he was a stud. Look for him to have a great day fantasy-wise. Sign me up. And then I was trying to take one outside of the box a little bit that a lot of people may not be firing up. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a great day against Tampa Bay. I mean, he's going to start his fantasy run this year to make people jealous for those people that got him late in the draft. Jaden Daniels next year is going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback pick. I believe it in my soul. I didn't have enough confidence for myself to take him this year, but I do believe it's going to happen.
I tried to get him.
That starts today.
Like Adam said, he could be a league winner last one of the shows. I totally agree with that.
So those are my quarterbacks.
I think he, even like Joe said on week 1 here, I think he gives you the baseline of Justin Fields right away. And we know how good Justin Fields is for fantasy. He may not be as great for your football team in real life, but for fantasy, Justin Fields gets it done. Jaden Daniels, I think, has that baseline right out of the gate here.
Yep.
And only 100%. To get better as the season goes on.
But he's in your sleepers list, I think, right? Today?
Who?
Jaden Daniels.
Jack Daniels always makes me go to sleep.
I think so. Yeah.
My mind's on bourbon, Joe.
Clearly. Adam, what do you got for your starts, buddy?
Well, a couple of the guys you mentioned, Kyler Murray and Jared Goff. Jared Goff playing indoors versus old team. We know how he does when he's playing in domes and in good weather. Jared Goff's the man. So, like you said, I expect him to light it up today. I love Kyler Murray today and all season going forward. He should finally be fully healthy this year and not that scared of Buffalo's defense anymore like they used to be. So, with all the new weapons, Kyler Murray should be awesome. I also like Tua. Tooch mentioned all the points they're expecting in that game today.
Yep.
We know Tua led the league in passing last year, and I don't really see any reason he shouldn't again this year with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle at his disposal and Devon Achane healthy and ready to go this year. And then Kirk Cousins versus Pittsburgh. You know, even if I agree with Tooch, Pittsburgh might win this game. Kirk Cousins is the fourth quarter king of fantasy points. So, you know, he could be nothing till the fourth quarter and get you 18 points in the fourth quarter with a couple of drives. So,
playing from behind.
Yeah, that's why we always love Kirk Cousins, because he can always get it done even when it looks hopeless. Give him 5 minutes and he'll save your fantasy day. So, and then I'll take Joe Burrow today. I'm a little more concerned before when I made this pick a couple days ago, but now we know Chase is playing again, so that helps. But without Higgins, that kind of hurts. But I think Joe Burrow again still versus New England. They should dominate this game. Joe Burrow is going to get back on track. Hopefully him and Chase go out and make a statement today, and they get Chase paid this week.
Yep.
I hope so, man. I sure do. Love it, Adam. Tooch, I know a lot of the names we talked about already, but there's also one that I think is going to blow up today too.
Well, like I said, the Jaguars and Dolphins, that's the top total on the board today. So you're looking for fantasy points. That's you go with the games with the high totals. You look at the lines of it, and Rams and Lions is another high total. So those are the two highest totals on the board. So I'm going to go with Stafford, Goff,
and you
Lawrence,
might be able to help me then, Tooch, because I had to decide between Goff and Lawrence in a league, and I went Goff. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going with Goff today. Goff would be my top ranked quarterback besides Josh Allen. Josh Allen, obviously a must start every week. I've got him in here because, I mean, the dude's going to run. He's going to be trying.
Cardinals' defense is not good either.
I mean, they're better than they were in the past because Cannon is a defensive-minded coach, and they do play hard for him. But I mean, Josh is at home. His receivers aren't terrible. You know, it's just not Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis anymore. You know,
right.
That leaves a lot of targets open for guys like Kincaid and Shakir and stuff. And you still have James Cook running the ball. Of course, they drafted a decent backup in Ray Davis, who I think has a shot to overtake James Cook. You know, it could be like Kyron Williams. He's a veteran. He's the same age as James Cook, Ray Davis. You know, so it's not like he's a rookie, but he's got a lot of experience in college. You know, I think he played 5 years, 6 years. So I like that. We're going running backs.
I figured before we do Tooch, Joe Burrow or Goff. I think we both made it clear.
Goff for me.
Both guys, I think, are going to have a great day.
Look, the Rams lost some key pieces on defense. Aaron Donald retired. Ernest Johnson's on the Titans now, the middle linebacker, top tackler. That opens it up for Goff to exploit the Rams, middle of the field. That's why Laporta should have a big day. Obviously, if you drafted Laporta, you're starting him no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. And then Adam will give you this question, then we'll let Tooch do his running backs. Mm-hmm. Montgomery, is he a bad RB2? No, I don't think so. I have him stashed as RB2, and Achane is
I would start him today.
Yeah,
I bet you he gets 2 touchdowns today.
Yeah, I mean, he's about as most sure of a thing on the goal line as there is in the NFL right now. I mean,
100%.
For a great offense for a team that scores a ton
Montgomery
and loves to run.
Yeah, Montgomery's going to be used. He's their goal line back. Both running backs in Detroit are fantasy relevant.
Gibbs got a hamstring injury too.
Gibbs has a hamstring, so you might see more Montgomery today than you would.
I love the prop. Montgomery over 53.5 rushing yards. I think that's a gimme.
Well, Tooch knows I love the 2 touchdowns because I parlayed it with a Tyreek 2 touchdowns.
So did I. Plus, did you use
the no sweat?
Yep, no sweat. Yeah. Plus the
get your money back no matter what. Could win $400+. Sign me up.
Yep. Hell yeah.
All right, Tooch. Running backs.
James Cook versus the Cardinals. I think, the targets are available, right? So it's a PPR. Jerome Ford versus Cowboys. There's nothing after Jerome Ford. It's just him. Rashad White versus the Commanders. I think Rashad White's going to have a big fantasy season this year. You're looking at Rashad White going against an aging Commanders defensive line. Raheem Mostert versus the Jaguars. I think you got your goal line carries there. Devin Singletary versus the Vikings. This is a guy that's going to get you every single touch. I'm trying to go. I don't want to go with the obvious ones, because David Montgomery I want to put on this list too. I mean, when I found out Jahmyr Gibbs has a little bit of a hamstring injury, I love Montgomery today.
I love it. Tooch and Adam, let me ask you a question. I'm in a league where I've got A-Chain, Gibbs, Kamara, and Connor. Right now I've got Connor on the bench, but I'm thinking of benching Gibbs or A-Chain for him. What do you guys think?
I put Connor in and A-Chain. Those are my top two on that list.
So you
what's
would bench
the
Gibbs.
Other one?
It's Gibbs and Kamara.
I like Kamara too today. Because Kamara's. I think with the hamstring, David Montgomery's going to get the bulk of the touches. I could see Gibbs coming in and getting some third down action, maybe as a decoy. I don't know how bad his hamstring is. We'll find out today.
I think I'm going to go safe and bench Gibbs. I hate benching my early pick, but it's a good problem to have.
I have Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence today in one league, and I'm like, Dak versus the Browns. I'm going Lawrence in that big game. I think Lawrence puts up some. Trevor Lawrence would be a top 5 quarterback last year if he hit 5 more touchdowns last season. You really be talking about Trevor Lawrence as the top 5 fantasy quarterback, in the top 5 last season. Instead, he finished top 12, top 10.
Yeah.
If he had some drops, last season, but I think this season with guys like Brian Thomas, he still has Kirk and he still has Ingram. You watch out, man. Lawrence could be a good. If you drafted Lawrence late, you didn't have any other choice, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Love it, man. Love all those picks, Tooch. Let's get into Adam's running back starts.
Again, some of the same guys. James Cook, I love his volume and everything versus Arizona today.
Yeah.
Like Tooch said, there should be more targets available this year for him. Rashad White, same situation. He just gets everything. He's on the field like 90% of the time. So against that Washington defense, I think that's going to be a good recipe for Tampa today. Alvin Kamara, we've talked about. He's going to be in my lineup pretty much every week as long as he's out there from the PPR standpoint. They're going to dump it off a lot. They always do. Last year, he was he suspended last year or just unhealthy at the start? I can't remember. Maybe both.
He had questions about suspension.
Right.
And I think he did not.
And then he was unhealthy a little bit, and then he finally got healthy. And then he was like a top 5 running back in PPR from the rest of the way out, just quietly. He wasn't scoring touchdowns, but he was catching 10 balls a game and 50 or 60 yards, and it just adds up fast. So he's got to be on your lineups in PPR formats. And I'll take Ramondre today against Cincinnati because what else are they going to do? What else is New England going to do than try to give Ramondre the ball? Cincinnati's defense is pretty good, but they're not. They're not the best, but they're decent. But Ramondre should see the ball, not just carrying it, but in the passing game as well. So I like him. And Kenneth Walker.
Love it.
Kind of the same thing with all these guys. It's volume for these guys. These are the workhorses. Kenneth Walker's a stud. Versus Denver, it's going to be a little tougher to pass versus Surtain and them. They're going to need Kenneth Walker to step up. And, man, he can break long runs too. He's one of those guys that can do nothing, and then 50 yards and he's gone. So I like all those guys today. I think you're pretty safe with all of them.
Yeah,
I'm looking for safety in week 1.
Kenneth Walker, the Denver was terrible against the run, bottom 3. Seattle was terrible too, though. So thinking Javonte Williams would have a decent game too. Mm-hmm. Arizona was the worst team against the run last year. So James Cook, number 1, and then the Bengals were bottom 8 in rushing. So you got to like that too. I love the Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker is going to have a huge year this year.
I agree. And real quick, I asked if Kyle Pitts is risky with the injury. He said he picked him over Mark.
He's risky without the injury.
He picked him over Mark Andrews.
So far, a good pick, man. Andrews didn't do anything in the game. It was the Isaiah Likely show.
Right. And yeah, that was another great pick by me, if I can pat myself on the back.
Yeah, fucking great pick.
Sean Patel wants to know Raheem or Stevenson in the flex. I also have A-Chain starting. I love Mostert today. I brought up this question because I'm going to my running back starts.
I like Mostert today too, but it's hard to sit A-Chain. That's the dilemma when you have the Dolphins running backs. It's like a roulette every week, you know.
I think they're both worth starting. I wouldn't start them both if I had them both, but if they're on different teams, obviously you're probably firing them up.
So he's looking for Raheem or Stevenson in flex.
I mean, I would take Raheem personally.
I think Raheem Mostert probably gets you one touchdown today. Is it PPR or standard? If it's standard, I'm taking Mostert. If
he
it's
did
PPR,
not say. If you could let us know.
I might take Stevenson if it's PPR, but
I don't know. But in addition to James Cook and Connor, I mean, we talked enough about those guys. I love both of them. Yep. James Cook and James Conner, both probably top 5 running backs today. Love Travis Etienne today against Miami. He was a beast last year. Yep. I think he's going to pick right back up where he left off. Miami is a good defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop Etienne. Yep. He's going to catch balls. He's going to run up the middle. Etienne, easily a must start. I think he's drastically underrated in fantasy. I think today he blows up in a big way. Talked about Raheem Mostert. I love him today. I think he's going to score more than A-Chain. I think A-Chain will probably have more yardage, but I think Mostert has 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the goal line carries are going to Mostert, right, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's worth it. He was a touchdown machine last year. I think he had 15 touchdowns or
15
something.
15 on the ground, 3 through the air.
Yeah, so 18 total. So Mostert, you're going to fire him up. I love him today. I love him the whole season. I think he's great value for where he got drafted. And then a guy that people are sleeping on, I love Joe Mixon today against Indy. Houston's going to have to run the ball to open things up for the passing game. Mixon's going to catch balls too. Indy is not a good defense. I don't care how many people tell me that they're improved.
Weren't good versus the run, Joe.
They were not good versus the run, and Mixon is going to tear them up today. So that's 10. Who I like. Yeah.
Bottom 10 versus the run last season.
Nick wants to know, guys, Chase, Amari, Kirk, Olave, pick 2. Well, you're not benching Jamar Chase. He's playing. He's your first-round pick, most likely, if you have him. He's your first-round pick. You're not benching him.
Not benching Olave.
This is tough, man. I know. Olave, people don't realize how good Olave was last year. He had crap for quarterbacks, and he was still
how many targets he demands a game.
Yeah. I love Olave. People sneered at me when I took him as my number 1 wide receiver, but the dude gets a ton of targets. He's got 0 competition for wide receiver targets.
By the way, this is a fantastic team if you have all 4 of these guys.
I know, right? Amari Cooper, when you don't start him, he explodes. You know, when you do start him, you know, he sometimes might disappear, but I love him. I love the talent. I probably this is tough, man. Christian Kirk, you know, he's in on the big game today, you know, with all the points. You know, Chase, this is a tough choice. I'm probably going Chase and Olave here. But I like Christian Kirk today, too.
It's really close, but I'm going Chase and Olave as well.
Yep. People are going to be real surprised with if Olave is your number 3 wide receiver. Shit, I'd like to play in that league, man.
He goes super flex.
Who passed him over, man? I mean, Derek Carr is healthy now.
Yeah, he is. So that's going to be good. Yeah. Nick says thanks.
People don't realize how good Olave was last year. Go back and look at his stats. I mean, Adam, really you agree with me, right? He was a beast last year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He was top 10 wide receiver. Yeah. It wasn't by a bunch of touchdowns so that people don't notice it as much. But, it's like 15 targets a game, and he demands it from Derek Carr. And Derek Carr knows how to support a number 1 receiver.
Yep. Look at Devontae Adams when he was with Carr and on the Raiders.
I mean, look at when he had Amari Cooper with the Raiders and
Amari Cooper,
Crabtree, and I mean they were both top 15 receivers.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Adam, walk us through your tight end starts.
Well, everybody's favorite this year, Trey McBride. He should be lighting it up with Kyler versus Buffalo. I'm looking for a big game right away today. Dalton Kincaid also, he's going to get a bunch of those targets that are left empty there by Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs and all those guys. A lot of that should go to Kincaid, I think. Evan Ingram, was like we were just saying, he's one of those quiet
was
guys
awesome.
from last year. He was amazing last season and got no credit for it.
His best season
ever. And he's always been good as long as he's healthy. He's always had good years.
Yep.
I don't see why that should end today, especially like we've talked about all the points that's expected to be scored in that game. The ball should be going up and down the field. So,
yep.
Sam Laporte is a must start every week with Jared Goff today in the Dome. I expect Laporte to get a touchdown. And Jake Ferguson, we've talked about him all offseason so far, the red zone target he is. Dak got his money today. It's all Jake Ferguson and CD in the red zone. So I love that matchup.
Yep.
It's a thing of beauty, brother. Tooch, your starts.
I got Kyle Pitts versus the Steelers. I'm looking for, look, if you're looking for a possible big game, throw a dart, and looking for maybe like a 20-point game out of somebody. Kyle Pitts is a good dart throw. And then you're looking at Trey McBride versus the Bills and Dalton Kincaid. I love Kincaid today. I think he's going to get a ton of targets. And then we got Evan Engram again, who's just a beast. He's a great route runner, And then look with Ayuk coming back from a hold in, and that tough. I mean, there's the secondary on the Jets. You got Sauce Gardner who's going to be locked up on Debo or Ayuk, one of those two guys. I love Kittle in this game. Brock Purdy's going to be looking for Kittle.
I agree.
Safety blanket. McCaffrey or Kittle,
Absolutely, man. All great options here. Listen, we've talked about McBride, how much I love him. I had him as tight end number 1 on the board. I took him early in almost all my drafts. I think he's the guy. I think he's the top of the mountain in the tight end world this year. We've talked about Ferguson, red zone machine, Evan Engram, just a target machine. Kincaid going to be a target machine this year. And this is people may consider this a sleeper. I kind of don't. I like Cade Otton this year. I love him today against Washington. He's going to get a lot of single looks. He's a big target in the middle of the field. He's in that third year, and I think that's when Otton's going to take a step forward. I'm telling people to add him now because I think this is going to be a guy that's going to be one of those tight ends that's going to be like, oh, man, how did he not get drafted? Let me pick. And then he just becomes a top 15 guy out of nowhere. So I like Cade Otton today. I think he's going to score a touchdown, have at least 10 fantasy points for a tight end that's not drafted in the first 8 rounds. That's all you could ask for. So Cade Otton, love him today.
I like that.
Jared's asking us.
They're playing the Commanders.
Washington, yeah. Jared is asking us to rank his team. 12-team league, Burrow, A-Chain, Gibbs, Chase, Nico, Terry. That's amazing, dude.
Very nice.
I would take that team.
In a 12-man league, that's an A-.
It might take a little time to get off the ground with guys like Gibbs and Chase, but other than that, pretty solid.
Yeah, you're gonna do well. Gibbs, we talked about Gibbs. He's a little scary for us today because of the hammy, but
hasn't he been cleared like all week? Like
he has been.
That. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not concerned about Gibbs today.
I'm not concerned about him playing. I think I'm just concerned about him tweaking his hamstring.
Yeah. Okay.
Re-injury,
but he has been cleared all week, hasn't he? He's been practicing fully, right?
He's been practicing fully. Again, I'm just being overly cautious in week 1.
The Lions might be overly cautious too with him, but I mean, look, when you get down to the goal line, it's Montgomery. But,
yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Montgomery today, just like week
Gibbs
1
might
last
take
year.
A while to get ramped up.
Well, I took a bold strategy on Guillotine League, and I took both.
I know you have both of them today, and you know what? It might work out today. I don't know.
I think for the beginning of the season, I feel pretty safe about it. I just got to have somebody in a month from now.
And the Rams defense, they were really, really good against the running back last year. But this year's a different Rams defense. There's, like I said, there's no Ernest Johnson, there's no Aaron Donald.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about the Rams defense.
Yep.
All right, so this just came across while I was sitting here. The DraftKings is trying to push out bets, so they put out a parlay with Caleb Williams 2+ touchdowns, Jaden Daniels rushing yards over 40, and Bo Nix over 200 passing yards. I kind of like it.
Yeah, but those ones that they push out, they know
They know they're going to be risky. I know.
They know one of them's not going to hit. So for me, it'd be like Caleb Williams 2 touchdowns because, like I talked about on Barfly Tailgate, the Titans defense, they really did a good job in the offseason. Man, there's some studs all over that defense. They have a great secondary, decent pass rush, big offensive line. You know, they're going to force Caleb Williams to pass into the teeth of that secondary because they have Devondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons in the middle there. And then you got Harold Landry to rush the passer, and the great secondary all 4 positions.
100%.
L'Jarius Sneed's gonna be locked up on DJ all day.
Yeah. Carl wants to know in a PPR league, Dell or Swift, Dak or Williams. I'm taking Tank Dell today.
Dell for me too.
Love Tank.
Yep.
And Dak or Williams is actually surprisingly closer than I would expect it to be.
Yep. For me, it's Dak.
I think
he just got the big contract, you know.
He got paid. He wants
to
go
both have tough matchups, but you're choosing between a seasoned veteran or a rookie playing his first game in the NFL. I love Caleb Williams, but I'm going with Dak in this one. I could be wrong, but I mean, if you want to risk, one's on the road, one's on the home, so one's at home. So, but I could, I don't know. I mean, he's got CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. You know, I mean. Like, I don't know.
Adam?
I kind of like Dak today, but
I'm usually playing Dak and Tank Dell out of those 2 choices. Dak was like number 2 quarterback last year, number 3.
Yeah. He threw the ball the most in the NFL last year. Most passing attempts.
They don't have a great running game right now, so why are they not just going to throw the crap out of it all day?
And the Browns weren't great against the pass either last year. They were tough against the run. Everyone threw on them because they couldn't run on them. They have a great pass rush though.
Yeah, man, sure. There's probably not a week I'm not starting Dak.
I probably agree with that.
No idea, man. But you drafted him high, so you might as well throw him in there, right? That's right.
Heisenberg said he's just joining, but
love Heisenberg.
Do you expect Chase to get plenty of work today? Yes. There is no T. Higgins. Heisenberg, he is out for this game. So Jamar Chase, if he's playing today, he is going to be getting targeted at least 12 times. I'd be willing to make that bet.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be playing just for decoy reasons today. Or if he's out there, he's planning on being Jamar Chase, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got no injuries, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
And then T. Higgins is out. So, I mean, he's got to play.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Tooch, why don't you talk about your wide receiver starts for today?
Love Mike Evans today. I mean, he does every year. He's done. How many years has he done it for, Adam?
I think he's got like 8,000-yard seasons or something to start out as the most ever to start your career.
Right. So Evans is a guy that could get you 12 targets in one game.
Oh,
you know, you're going against a weak Commanders defense. I know they hired a defensive coach and everything, but that could take a while to come back. I love Evans today. I think he gets you 10 to 12 targets. So probably
easy.
If he could turn that into 6 to 10 catches, maybe a touchdown. I mean, what's not to like? Tank Dell, I think, while the focus is on Nico and Stephon Diggs, who's going to cover Tank Dell, man?
Nobody.
Potential for a big game here with Dell is huge right now. So Deontay Johnson versus the Saints. I mean, look, they brought Deontay Johnson over to help Bryce Young, and the dude's always open. He may not get in the end zone, but you're looking at 6 to 10 catches in this game. Yeah, I'm not trying not to choose the obvious like CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase. I like
100%.
Right. So Josh Palmer versus the Raiders. He's going to be the number 1 target.
I love him, baby.
For Herbert. And then,
you guys know that I've been licking my chops at Josh Palmer all off season.
Yep. Jackson Smith and Jigba versus the Broncos. I think those Ohio State wide receivers that were rookies, they're gonna start to come around here. You're gonna see, like we talked about, Olave, JSN. They're good picks, man. They were high. I mean, Olave was a high draft pick, but JSN was a bargain, I think, at his ADP. So, I like him.
The new Tyler Lockett.
Patrick Surtain's gonna be matched up on DK. That's gonna be a hell of a battle because DK's a beast. I mean, if you throw it up to DK, he's got at least a 50-60% chance of coming down with the ball.
Totally.
And in the red zone, DK, one of the top wide receivers in the NFL, I think. So JSN, while all the attention goes to DK, I mean, again, JSN should get some nice single looks. He's great at separating.
I love it, man. All great picks, Tooch. Adam, let's see your starts, man.
So I've got a little bit more obvious ones than like Tooch was saying, just because it's week 1. I'm trying not to take a whole lot of chances. But Garrett Wilson, I think, is going to have a monster game, which is kind of why I told you, Joe, I would play Aaron Rodgers earlier. I think Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers are going to make a statement on week 1, game 1. I think it's going to be a great season there.
Another Cooper, Ohio State guy, right?
The same draft there. Olave, Garrett Wilson, JSN. They were all on the same team. JSN was a year later than them out of the draft, I guess. But they all played together. And then Cooper Kupp, we've talked about him a bunch, but in the preseason here, I think he's just going to go right back to the old Cooper Kupp. I think he becomes the Rams' #1 again this year. Especially in that game, I think could be a shootout back to back or back and forth. I mean, Drake London, I expect to have a huge season this year and be one of the big bounce back guys. The guy has all the talent. He's a top draft pick. He's just had bad quarterback play. Well, now he's finally got Kirk Cousins, who we know will throw it to his #1 target. And Drake London's size, I think it's going to be a big year. I think it starts off today. I think he gets a touchdown today. And Tank Dell, you guys just mentioned him. Who's going to cover him when you're covering Nico, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon out of the backfield? It's just a high-powered offense, and I think Tank Dell is going to be left open a lot over the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jalen Waddle. Man, a lot of people have got a little bit down on Jalen Waddle because he gets banged up so much, but, man, he gets so many targets still when he's out there. Like,
it's going to be so good this year.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle's going to have a big season this year, and I love him in that high-scoring game today we expect.
All great picks, Adam. I'm on board with that. I have a lot of the same picks as you guys. Garrett Wilson, I'm a little partial because I took him in the majority of my leagues because I was towards the latter half of the first round, but I really think he's going to challenge for wide receiver 1 this year. I strongly believe that overall in fantasy. PPR machine. He finally has an amazing quarterback throwing in the ball. So sign me up for all shares of Garrett Wilson. I was in a league where I had to choose in the end of the first round between Bijan and Garrett Wilson, and I went Garrett Wilson, and on the wraparound, I was able to still get Saquon. So I felt really good about it. I feel good about that moving forward. Cooper Kupp, we talked all we could about him already. I think he's going to be amazing. Little tip for everybody out there. I showed Tooch this morning, but DraftKings has him at 6.5 catches. Take the over or under. I think it's an easy over. And over 80 yards. I think that's a slam dunk parlay between those two. I got a crazy long parlay I sent to Tooch earlier. He said he liked it, so that makes me feel good about it. Mari Cooper, we talked about him earlier. I think he's going to have a good day against Dallas. Listen, he is a PPR machine. He's going to get targeted at least 12 times. You can book that. And I think he's going to come down with at least 8. And I think he scores today over 100 yards. Amari Cooper, I love him every year. I think he's going to be a beast. And you guys know I've been talking about Josh Palmer since well before the season started. The fact that those targets from Keenan Allen and Mike Williams got to go somewhere between him, Ladd McConkey. I think Joshua Palmer, from what they said in camp, he is the dog. He is the man. He is the guy that's going to lead the pack here. Josh Palmer, I talked about in the last 2 seasons. I know he was still behind those 2 guys I talked about, but this year, Josh Palmer bursts onto the scene. If for some reason he is not drafted in your fantasy league, put your claim in, get him right now, because next week he is going to be a hot commodity. I mean that. That's not just me talking. I believe it to be true. We got a couple questions while we were talking wide receivers, so let's dive in. Brendan wants to know, safer start based off of this week's matchups, Aaron Jones or Pittman versus Houston?
This is PPR or standard?
People are sleeping on Michael Pittman again, man.
I'm going Aaron Jones.
I don't know.
He's asking
all the
for
drafts
safer.
we did, Michael Pittman just kept falling.
Yeah.
He'd be at the top of the board round after round after round. I'm like, this dude's like a 150 target receiver, and he was great last year. Like, why does nobody want Michael Pittman?
I think it's
that with crappy quarterback play.
Doubt on the quarterback. Yeah, he did it with Gardner Minshew though last year, but people are doubting Anthony Richardson.
I think it's because when Richardson was in last year, Pittman wasn't being a target horse, So
That was so small of a sample. That was like, what, 3 games, 2 games?
I understand. I totally get it. With that said, I like both of these guys today. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not on Anthony Richardson. I'm the opposite of everybody else. I'm not in on Anthony Richardson this year.
I got to see it first.
8 rounds later.
I got to see it first. Yeah. Aaron Jones has the better matchup. The defense.
I'd say Aaron Jones is the safer play.
With the Giants defense versus the Texans defense, I'm taking the Texans defense It's just a way better defense. But, the Giants may have the number 1 overall pick next year.
Mm-hmm. Tons of questions popping in. We're going to get through them. We're going to hammer through them all quick. 12-man league, Dak, Saquon, Kyron, DJ, DK Metcalf, Pitts, Dell.
Nice.
$100 league. People kept reaching, so I grabbed off the top.
Nice team there.
Dak in the 8th round. Very solid, Carl. Like it.
Yeah. Great.
Star Wars wants to know, Ty Spears or J.K. Dobbins, half PPR, double flex?
That's tough, man.
Dobbins by far has the better matchup today.
Yeah. I kind of like Dobbins, because Spears is going to be 50-50 with Pollard, and the Bears are pretty tough. So
the Bears are tough against the run, but
I think Dobbins is a good bounce back this year.
Yeah, Spears is going to be catching, stuff out of the backfield. So Dobbins is against the Raiders. They were okay in the middle of the pack versus the run. The Bears were great against the run last season. We'll see where they are. I mean, their weakness was, the running back catching passes out of the backfield, though, for the Bears. I mean, we saw it last year.
I mean, today I like Dobbins here, but season long, I like Spears.
I agree with that.
Dobbins is going to be – well, I mean, they're both of these running backs are splitting time, with another guy. But
pretty close either way.
Dobbins has a better matchup, and I think as long as he's healthy, I think he gets the nod over Gus Edwards.
I agree.
They paid Tony Pollard in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I love Spears. Spears is better than Pollard to me.
I agree. Alien X wants to know, guys, Keon Coleman or Brian Thomas Jr. over Pickens at number 2 spot?
Thomas, for me.
I don't know, man. I'm playing Pickens with Fields, man. Every highlight you saw in training camp was Fields and Pickens.
Pickens is a beast, though.
Yeah, and
Pickens is going to get a lot of targets today. I think if you're looking for target potential, which week 1, you're looking for someone that's going to get a lot of targets. Believe me, I love Brian Thomas this week and season long. But I think today Fields is locked on Pickens. You saw what Fields did.
He doesn't get through multiple reads, so Pickens is the number 1 guy, and that's who he's going to be staring down as soon as he gets the ball.
And what did Fields do with his top target, DJ Moore?
The next highest guy had 31 catches from behind Moore last season.
There you go. So
Moore had Pickens, 95 catches?
Yeah, Pickens today, season long, I think I'd probably go Thomas Jr., but today I like Pickens.
I think you'd go Pickens. I think you'd play Pickens safely today.
Mm-hmm. Our buddy Derek wants to know Monty or Deontay, 12-point PPR or 12-team PPR. His RB1 is Gibbs.
I like both of those guys today. I mean, I would be starting Monte and Deontay and sitting Gibbs.
Monte and Deontay.
Deontay.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I'm probably sitting Deontay, even though I do think he's going to have a bounce back year, but I need to see Bryce Young do it.
Yep.
Again.
I'll take both Lions.
I'm just not real risk averse in week 1. I like to just take what I know.
There's a lot of points to go around.
I'm going to play those Detroit running backs.
My top play of those 3 is Monty, though. He's going to catch the ball in the backfield. He's going to run the ball. He's going to get the goal line touches. Because Gibbs is – I think Gibbs will be on a snap count with the hamstring. I think Gibbs –
It's a strong possibility for sure.
10 to 15 touches max.
And we're 20 minutes –
I could be wrong, though.
We're about 20 minutes from kickoff, and I know that's when Adam's got to bounce here.
Inactive lists came out, though. Any surprises?
Inactive lists are officially out. Scrolling through it, let's take a look. Starting with the Steelers game. We already know Russell Wilson is inactive for that game, so Justin Fields getting the start.
Wow. I'm going to tune in on that, man.
No major surprises for the Falcons in that game. Heading into the Cardinals at Bills. Again, no big surprises for inactives here. Bears game, we talked about it a little earlier. Roshan Johnson, Tyler Scott, inactive for that. No Noah
That's
Sewell.
interesting, though, Tyler, so no fourth wide receiver? Well, I guess who for the Bears?
Yep.
Yeah, both of the rookies from last year.
DeAndre Carter is active, though. For the Bears?
Yes, he is.
I think they're using him on special teams, aren't
Special
they?
teams, yep. Tyler Scott don't play no special teams, but
Heading into Patriots Bengals, T. Higgins we talked about already, inactive for today. For New England, no really surprises there. So that's a big one. No T. Higgins. Texans Colts, their kicker Matt Gay. If you have him on your team, Matt Gay is inactive today.
that was a big joke for fantasy football goon of the past.
Yes, it is. And also Josh Downs inactive for those of you that drafted him with a late pick.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Don't start him.
Yeah.
The Jaguars at Dolphins. The big news, of course, was Tyreek Hill was arrested this morning on his way to the game. He has since been released and is expected to play today.
Cheetos came to the game in his Ferrari, man. Right?
Yeah, he was
It's
speeding
Sunday
already.
morning in the life of Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Looking through to see if there's anything else of note. Going through. I don't see anything of note worthy of the morning's inactive, so that's all good news. We have the questions just absolutely pouring in.
Yeah.
Let's pick up where we left off, folks. We'll get to our defensive starts here in a little bit. Where do we leave off? A.D. Mitchell or Tony Pollard as a flex replacement. I don't like either of them. If I had to pick,
Well, with Downs out, I'll give me Mitchell. Well, Pollard is good too. I mean, flip a coin here, really. I mean, the Bears are tough running the ball. Are tough against the run,
I'll take the for sure touches with Pollard.
Yeah, Pollard's getting his touches. They paid him. He's definitely going to see the ball today. I don't like either, but I'll take Pollard.
Yep.
Paul wants to know: do I go with Jamar today that he's active, or stick with you? Gotta stick with Jamar.
I think Chase today, given the Higgins injury.
Chase is active. Higgins is not playing. Chase wants that contract. He's going to have a big game.
Who are the other wide receivers, though, man?
How are you not playing both of those?
I know. That's what I'm saying. How are you not playing both guys?
Both guys got to be playing today.
Yeah. Who's the other one, Paul?
Yeah. Let us know, Paul, in the chat who your other receivers are.
Then
Yadir wants to know, do you want to go Deontay or Addison? I'm going Deontay for guaranteed targets.
It's tough. It's a tough call. I mean, Addison's got the better defense to play against with the Giants. And a lot of attention is going to go to JJ. So, I mean, Addison could have a decent day, maybe even a big day. Deontay Johnson, I love him. He's going to be getting the bulk of the targets there. He's the wide receiver one. So, it's a tough call. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore is still over there in New Orleans, though, right, Adam?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got lost for a second there. I'm not real big on Addison. I'm not depending on Sam Darnold more than one receiver right now. Like JJ, yeah. I feel good about, but I'd play Deontay he's more the number one target there.
Yeah. I mean, Addison was a beast last year, though.
Oh, he was, especially for a rookie. He was very good.
Yep.
Evnath, please don't do this.
No.
Don't do this.
No.
Keep Justin Herbert. You do not want Fields. Do not drop Justin Herbert. Please, we beg you.
There's no comparison between the two guys.
I wouldn't do that, but I'm not. That may not end up.
Is there someone else you can drop?
Fields could definitely outplay Herbert for the whole year.
Yeah, I mean, look, is there someone else? Drop like your second tight end for Fields.
Yeah.
Bengals or Bears D, both have great matchups. Listen,
I feel pretty good about the Bears D today.
I feel good about them too, but I think the Patriots are really bad.
I feel like there's a pick six for the Bears today.
I think both of these teams have pick sixes. I think both defenses here are probably in the top 5 this week.
I'm going with the Bengals defense here just because I think the Patriots are one of the worst teams in the NFL.
I bet $5 on the Bengals defense to score a touchdown today.
Right? Yeah, so there you go.
It's also a no sweat, and it's
but still, I mean, the fact that you took it says everything. The fact that you like the play tells you to take the Bengals defense.
I was going to say Bengals. I like both, but I like the Bengals as my number one defense this week.
Here he's got his other wide receivers. So Rashee Rice is great. That was a great play. Did Devontae Smith score? I know he had some catches.
No, he did not score.
So he already had them. They already played. Yeah, because he didn't know if Chase would play. That's right.
Both of them had solid games. So
yeah. I'm going. Let's go with Chase just because he's got the better matchup.
You got to start Chase.
You're going against the Jets defense with Debo.
You don't play Chase, he's going to go 203 touchdowns.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Carl, do you guys think Mike Williams will have a good year with Rodgers and the Jets?
I think he'll have a good year. Yeah.
I think he'll be solid
as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's the main problem with him is he can never play more than 6 games in a season. It seems like.
Yeah, he's 6'5", 225. You know, he's a huge target. Yeah, I mean Lazard is a big target too, though. But Williams is, red zone.
Williams is being slept on big time.
Yep.
And Wilson's going to command a lot of attention. So
I tried to get Williams late in a lot of drafts and couldn't get him. Waited too long.
I like it. We were just talking about defensive guys, and let's go to our defensive starts. Look at that. My number 1 defensive start, Bengals against New England. Also like the Saints against Carolina today with Chase, the whole team just still shaking the rust off. Look at that. The Bears too. Falcons against Pittsburgh and just turnover prone Justin Fields, bad decision maker Justin Fields. And then Seahawks against Denver. Got the rookie quarterback. Sign me up for those. Adam's defensive starts are very similar.
Yeah, Bengals, Saints versus Panthers, Bears versus Tennessee, Vikings versus Giants, and Seahawks versus Denver. I like going against some of these rookie quarterbacks and then some of these backups and not inexperienced, but lifelong backup guys like Jacoby Brissett and Daniel Jones. Obviously, is a turnover machine sometimes. So the Vikings defense should be pretty decent this year, I think.
Yeah, I do too.
It's week 1. You just pick somebody with a good matchup, stream them, and kind of see how it plays out for a few weeks. And then you kind of get a feel for who the good ones are. But at the start, it's just kind of matchup related. So go after the rookies and the backup guys.
Love it, man. Tooch?
I need to get ready to take off too, though, guys. It's about 11:45.
All right, brother.
Real quick, Adam, we'll let you do your sleepers quick.
Yeah.
Well, JSN, we talked about earlier. I like him this season. Bounced back right away today. And another one I'm really putting a lot of faith in today is Greg Dulcich for Denver Broncos versus Seattle. I think it's a big-time deep sleeper, I think.
You chose him over somebody else, right? And
I'm playing him on Guillotine over Dallas Goedert.
I don't remember. Goddard didn't do much, right?
He got like 7 points, 4 for 30, I think, or something. Yeah. Right. So I think Dulcich can do that today. You got a quarterback that's a rookie that likes to dump it off. Sean Payton likes to dump it off.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's terrible against the tight end. They're terrible.
Right. He could easily catch 4 to 6 passes for 50 yards and make me a happy guy anyway.
Yep.
And then Baker Mayfield, we haven't mentioned him at all today, but why not him versus Washington? They're going to throw it a bunch.
They sure
we talked about Mike Evans earlier.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield, I mean, he's a good player, man. In good matchups, he can get you. I wouldn't necessarily want him as my QB1 on my regular fantasy team, but for guillotine leagues and things like that, he's a great play at the start of the season right now.
Yep.
Zamir White's a guy that should get a bunch of volume for the Raiders against the Chargers. I think he can catch the ball and run the ball.
They were terrible against the run last year, the Chargers. If you remember, teams ran all over the Chargers last year.
Yeah. And he's pretty much all they got right there. Josh Jacobs gone and everything. So I think he's going to be a workhorse. And then I'll take my chances, long shot on Khalil Shakir today. We talked about him being he's the only returning receiver that has ever caught a pass from Josh Allen before. So why would he not be looking to him in the week 1? That's a lot of people are high on Keon Coleman, and I am in the long term, but I think he's going to go with what's familiar at the beginning of the year. So
Kincaid and Shakir will be the top targets.
Yeah, they know the system, they know the quarterback, he knows them. I like it right away.
Curtis Samuels.
You guys have a great day. I'll be in touch with all of you. Thanks to everybody for joining in.
Yeah, appreciate you, Adam. We'll let you get to work, but bear down, baby.
Bear down, guys. See you later.
See you later, Adam.
All right,
guys. Let me change the view of the screen real quick so that it's just for 2.
There we go.
Boom. There we are.
All right.
And real quick, we'll do Adam sits for him. I know he had to bounce, but he doesn't like Keenan Allen today against Tennessee. Obviously, low man on the totem pole in terms of targets. He doesn't like Pickens today. Although I think he did say that Fields improves that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Rodgers at SF. Although he told me earlier he did, so I got to clarify with him there. And he thinks Pitts isn't going to do that great today. So let's get back to where were we? I think we were on sleepers. Let's get the Tooch sleeper starts for today.
Well, I like Chuba Hubbard. I think he's, good. He's going to get a lot of volume. Like Adam, I like Baker Mayfield today. The Broncos were the worst team against the tight end last year, so Noah Fant could be a good sleeper. If you're looking for a tight end, you could do a lot worse. I mean, this dude, Will Dissly is gone. I forget, Colby Parkinson is gone. There's just Noah Fant. So Jaden Daniels versus the Buccaneers, and then I got the Bengals' second, maybe third, maybe fourth receiver versus the Patriots. I would choose Jermaine Burton, too. One of those two guys I think has a chance to do some damage today. So Josephus is the guy that's been getting the camp buzz. But I think in the end, Jermaine Burton's going to be one of their Joe Burrow's, maybe
I can see that.
Yeah, replace if T. Higgins leaves. Jermaine Burton's going to be getting a lot of play, and he's, the dude's a stud. So we'll see.
Sign me up, man.
Josephus is a good sleeper today.
I love it, Tooch. Good stuff. Big sleeper for me.
Gesicki in here.
I do now, and I was going to mention him as well. I like Jonnu Smith today as a sleeper against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, I mean, this is a guy that gets open at tight end. No one's talked about him in the offseason, but he's a savvy veteran tight end that gets open. He's a big guy. Yep. I think Jonnu's going to have himself, 3 or 4, maybe 5 catches today. I think he has a chance to score. So that's all you could ask for a tight end. So also, as Tooch mentioned, because of no T. Higgins today for Cincinnati, I like Mike Gesicki at tight end for Cincy against New England. They are not great against the tight end, and Gesicki could certainly score today and definitely be targeted. I think he's going to get more targets today than he will the rest of the season. If you need to stream a tight end, Gesicki is a great option. Yep. Darnell Mooney, I think he's a huge sleeper today against Pittsburgh. People forget that he is a speedster. He gets open. He had a great camp, and Kirk Cousins loves him. So I look for him to have a nice day against Pittsburgh. He's available in a lot of leagues and worth a start, especially in deeper leagues. Listen, Sam Darnold, while not the most glorious, shiny object, it's a great matchup against the Giants. In daily fantasy, in guillotine leagues, this is a guy that's going to help you, and I think he's going to do well today against the Giants. So give me all the shares.
He's throwing to Justin Jefferson.
He's throwing to JJ, so you can't beat that. Jerome Ford, listen, Tooch has him as a start. I have him as a sleeper because no one's talking about him. So for me, that falls as a sleeper. Jerome Ford, it's a great matchup. He's going to eat for at least 4 to 5 weeks. I think Nick Chubb is out longer than that. He had a devastating injury.
Yeah, I don't think he's up to speed until week 9, to be honest.
Jerome Ford for the first half of the season is going to be a dog. He gets a lot of volume. He's going to score at least once today. Could be close to 100 yards or more.
He's an excellent player, too.
He's an excellent player. He's going to be awesome. Start Jerome Ford, especially as a flex. If you have him, I have him ranked as up to an RB2, but definitely in a flex spot. Love him today.
Yep.
And then I know this kid isn't a sleeper for a lot of people, but Brian Thomas Jr. today against Miami. Tooch said it. I said it. There's going to be 1 million points in this game. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to get his targets. He looked great in the preseason. Give me all the shares.
Rapid fire questions now, Joe. We got a lot.
Yes, we do. Kickoff 10 minutes away. Let's go. Rapid fire. Yango Mauga wants to know, full PPR, Coleman is my flex over Keenan and Najee. What do you think?
Tough.
Najee's going to see a lot of touches
I know.
today.
I love Najee. Najee's like consistent floor, I go Najee.
In week 1, you have to go with the
Coleman.
amount of
We don't know what he's going to do.
touches.
But I like Coleman. He's such a big target, but I think he's going to take, like Adam said, it might take him some time to get up to speed.
You want to go with guaranteed touches in week 1. Najee's going to get them, so I'm going
Jalen
Najee.
Warren's got a little bit of an injury. Should play. Should be fine, but
bear down, Caesar. 10 minutes away. Let's go. Carl, do I take Devontae Adams, Nico Collins, or Pickens out to put Chase back in? Out of those guys, I would take out Pickens.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, AJ Terrell might be matched up on Pickens, which is, the Falcons' best corner. He's a pretty good down player. So I'm going Adams, Nico, and Chase. But I like Pickens. These are all good picks, man. I mean, those are all guys that could blow it up,
Yep. All guys are going to do well, but you got to start Chase over Pickens here.
Yep. Ayuk or Cooper.
Cesar wants to know Ayuk or Cooper. I'll go Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, Ayuk he's got a tough matchup. I mean, the Jets defense is no joke.
We're going to get to my sits. I have Ayuk as a sleeper. Okay, excellent. Lee J, 1 point PPR, Chase or Neighbors? That's a no-brainer. You got to go with Chase. I like both guys.
Yeah, I do too. I love Neighbors takes. I think they may be playing from behind. Neighbors you got to 10 catches and 100 yards today.
You should find a way to try to start both if you could, but let us know in the chat. Let's see here. David, Rome, Ayuk, Najee at the flex, full PPR. Ooh.
That's tough. I'm probably going to go Najee, though. But
I don't love it because of Ayuk's matchup, but I'm going to say Najee.
I don't like – I mean, the Titans' defense is good, man, and Rome's a rookie with a rookie quarterback, so I'll go Najee. I think they got to lean on the run game with Fields.
Yeah. Let's see here. Singletary or is that supposed to be Najee?
Yeah, I guess. I think so, yeah.
I mean, if that's Singletary and Najee, you got to go. I think you got to go with Najee. I don't like Singletary's matchup today.
I think so too. I just Singletary's going to get a lot of touches though too. But I think you go with the proven player. They're both good. I mean, flip a coin there.
All good stuff here. Let's go into – did we finish our sleepers? Did I do my sleepers? Yes, I did. Let's go into our sits, Tooch.
Okay.
Lead us off.
Well, Ayuk is, he's coming back from a hold-in. He's, Sauce Gardner's out there. And Prescott versus the Browns. The Browns allowed the least amount of points to the quarterback every week. So, I mean, it's a tough call. Dak is so good. He just got a huge contract. He's on the road. He was not good on the road. But, he might be fired up with that new contract. You never know. So, Brock Bowers versus the Chargers. Might take Bowers a little while to get ramped up, and they have Michael Mayers pretty good. I got Cade Otton versus the Commanders. Commanders were pretty good against the tight end last year. Tony Pollard versus the Bears. As the Bears were number one versus the running back last season. Number one versus the run.
Yeah, and Pollard's not even the best running back on the team. So
yeah, I agree. But he did get paid.
He did get paid. I have Brandon Ayuk as well. I just don't like the matchup, mainly because he's going to be going against Sauce most of the day. So that's tough to come back from. Listen, I have Tua on here, and I know that's a bit of a hot take, but I think they're going to run the ball a lot.
That Jaguars defense is underrated.
It is. The secondary especially is underrated.
Their pass rush is underrated too.
So I think they're going to run a lot. I think that's why I have Tua on here. I know it's a hot take. I like this game for points. I just don't see Tua having a big fantasy day.
He's so injury prone too.
I know it's a tough take. This might burn me. He could easily go off for 50, and then I'm going to look like a moron. But I just feel like they're going to run a lot today. I think a lot of the touchdowns. I think the touchdowns are going to be on the ground.
Yep.
Austin Eckler. Listen, he is a bum. He burned Tooch last year.
Last season, yeah.
And Tooch still won the league somehow.
Yeah,
he's not even the best running back there. He did get paid, so they're probably going to use him. But Tampa
I don't know how
is
I win.
an underrated
I think I picked
rush.
up Kyron Williams. That's why I won.
But Tampa Bay's got an underrated pass rush. I think Eckler's going to be bottled up. Cole Kmet, I'm starting him because I have no one else to start at tight end. But I think Tennessee's going to bottle him up. I hope I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling that he's going to get bottled up with all the other threats.
What a bum, Eckler.
What a bum. And then I'm saying to bench the Bills defense against Arizona today. That offense is great. That defense was very, very bad last year. Yeah. People overrate this Bills defense. Arizona is fully healthy. They have so many weapons.
They have a good defense too, I think.
I would not be shocked, Tooch, if this is the highest scoring game this week.
Yeah, I could see it.
It has the potential to be. So I'm benching the Bills defense.
I think it'll be top 5 games points total.
And guys, we are 4 minutes away from kickoff.
Yeah, we
got a question. Kamara, London, or Godwin? I don't think you can bench Kamara. I really don't.
I would go Kamara, though. They're all good choices.
They're all good options, but Kamara is just a PPR machine, especially in PPR. But I think regardless or not, Kamara is going to score multiple times today.
Drake London, I think he's a good start too. Him and Kirk Cousins might light it up today. I love Godwin. He's going to be in the slot this season, and that could be a high-scoring game too. Buccaneers, Commanders.
Could be. Get your last-minute questions in here, folks. Kickoff is 3 minutes away.
The Steelers' defense is underrated in my mind.
If you can get a question in here, get it in. We're going to answer. But Tooch and I will be going to watch Caleb Williams' NFL debut here in 2 minutes from now.
Yep.
Looking forward to watching that. Bear down, folks. Let's get our questions in here. And if we don't get any more questions, it has certainly been a pleasure talking fantasy football on week 1 of the NFL season. It's Christmas. It's the only day of the year that I negotiate that I don't have to do anything other than watch football. It's my favorite. I got to witness Notre Dame get upset in South Bend in person yesterday, and now I get to sit and watch NFL football all day. It's what dreams are made of, folks. I don't think we're going to get any more questions. If we do get any, we'll answer it during the wrap. But Tooch, we got to give a huge thank you as always to our buddy Adam.
Prop plays?
Yes, actually, let's do some
right.
prop stuff quickly.
Did I have? Well, I like
talk about your touchdown. Your touchdown.
I got. I think Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown score at -125 is a good play. I got DeAndre Swift over 11.5 receiving yards, and I'll take Cooper Kupp over 5.5 receptions, and Malik Neighbors over 5.5 receptions.
I love it, man. I've got a big parlay for tonight in the Rams-Lions game. I'll give it to you guys if you want to trail it. DraftKings is doing a 50% parlay boost up to a $10 bet.
Yeah.
I did a 7-leg parlay.
Touchdowns?
It's Jared Goff over 250 passing yards.
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford over 275 passing yards. Cooper Kupp over 6.5 receptions.
Yep.
Matthew Stafford 2 passing touchdowns. The over for the game 52.5. I have the over here. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 80 passing yards and Cooper Kupp over 70 yards receiving. That is like a plus 1,500. A $10 bet pays 160.
Nice. You got it.
And that's what I like for tonight.
That's it, man. I don't think anybody.
Nope, we got no other questions, which is fine because we are going to watch football, folks. Thank you as always. I'm Joe Mandel, the Goon. Adam.
I'm running to go turn on.
We're running to go watch football. That's Tooch, John Santucci, the Tooch. Adam Shaw, the man with the plan, had to take off for work, but a huge thanks to him. Make sure you follow us all on Twitter. Don't forget. And as always, thanks for tuning in. God bless America. God bless football. And as always, let's kick some ass. Well, we'll see you guys next week. And let's bear down. Let's get that W. Fantasy football is upon us. Let's go watch football.